In a free market, you get what you pay for. Want a mansion by the beach? It's going to cost you more than a rundown urban apartment. Want to get behind the wheel of that brand new BMW? Be prepared to shell out a few more dollars than you would for a beat-up jalopy. With government, however, it's a different story. President Obama and the liberals in Congress have given us one of the biggest, most intrusive, and most incompetent federal governments in American history. So what are we paying for this dollar store government? Try over $12 trillion. But hang on to your hats, that number is about to get higher. Decades of reckless spending have left taxpayers like us on the hook for over $12 trillion in debt. With government spending spiraling out of control, you would think that our leaders in Washington would be attempting to get their excessive ways under control. Think again. When the U.S. hits its debt ceiling of $12.1 trillion later this year, members of Congress are expected to raise the limit in order to continue breaking into the piggy banks of working Americans. Congress has already raised the debt ceiling 8 times in the last 7 years. In just the last 3 years, the period since Democrats have controlled Congress, the ceiling has increased by 35%. Bringing the average American family's share to just under $98,000. And they've managed to increase the national debt by almost 25% since last year's elections. If the big spenders in Congress get their way this time, it will mean an increase of nearly 60% in the debt since 2007. And it will raise the average American family's liability to more than $110,000. Don't expect that trend to change anytime soon. As it currently stands, the U.S. is borrowing about $30 billion a week. How can America continue to be the world's economic leader if our politicians insist on spending money like a banana republic? If we continue down this road, we know what the outcome will look like. Higher taxes that weaken economic growth and a weakened dollar that eats into the budget of every family in America. And all this to finance everything from Wall Street bailouts to auto industry takeovers. Every generation of Americans has a responsibility to hand their children a country better than the one they found. Previous generations have given us victories over Nazism and communism, the most powerful economy and military on the planet, and greater freedom than virtually any nation in the history of the world. But if Congress has its way, we'll be leaving our children with nothing but broken promises and a mountain of debt. Our children deserve better. And if members of Congress, whatever their party, whatever their reasons, vote to increase the debt ceiling, they deserve one-way tickets home, paying for their baggage as they go. That's this week's Freedom Minute.